So what frame rate am I shooting my B-roll in? Well, all right. So today we're talking about B-roll. Who doesn't love B-roll? Is it overplayed? Is it too hyped? Maybe it is. But I recently have made a switch on my B-roll. And the reason why I made the switch is to just make my life a little bit easier. Listen, a lot of people love shooting B-roll in 120 frames per second. And I think that's great. When you're outside, you're doing vlogs, I think that's exceptional. Gives you that nice, crisp, cinematic slow-mo. When you're in here, you're doing product reviews, you're doing things of that nature. Do you need to have 120 frames slow motion? You really don't. What I'm about to tell you is something that's super easy, super slick, and you can get a 4K image out of it. One of the things that I've done is I've switched to 4K 30 for some of my B-roll. Why? Because I'm shooting in 24 frames per second. So I can take that 30 frames per second and I can slow it down to 80%. You can shoot 4K video at 30 frames per second. So I can shoot 4K on my Sony A7C and have it be at 30 frames per second. When I shoot 60p or 120p, I have to decrease the resolution down to 1080p. Now, is that really gonna matter when most people are watching these videos on a smart device? No, probably not. You're probably not gonna notice the difference between 1080p and 4K, but I can tell you that when you watch it on a TV or you're watching them on a computer screen, you can totally tell a little bit of an image quality difference. 4K coming out of the Sony A7C is a 6K downsample to 4K. So you're actually getting 6K resolution in 4K files, where the 1080p is just a 1080p file. So the image quality is definitely not as good on the Sony A7C when you're shooting at 1080p. Does it still look great? It does look great. You can slow it down from 30 frames down to 24. You get that 80% slow motion. So it's nice. The other thing I've done is I've started to shoot at 60 frames per second. Why 60 frames? Because I don't have to crank up that shutter as much. I can keep that shutter at 1/25 versus on the 120. If I want to have the proper motion blur, I have to crank the 120p up to 1/250. And what does that do? That causes me to have to use more lights. So I get more light spill. I'm working in a poorly lit basement right now. I don't want more things in the shot than need to be in the shot, if you get what I'm saying. I got photo paper behind me. Why? Because I don't have a YouTube studio. I'm literally set up in the basement with some photo paper behind me, ready to go, ready to rock, because working on my background just isn't reality right now. I got 3 kids, I got a wife, they want to use this space. I have to set up and tear down all the time. Maybe someday, if we go full time, maybe someday we'll have a dedicated YouTube studio or a YouTube space. And I would love that. I would absolutely love that. We got to get a lot more subscribers for that. So speaking of that, if you're enjoying this video, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps. And if you're enjoying it, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Help me get there a little bit faster. Appreciate it, and I appreciate you. But that's why I've switched to 30 frames and 60 frames. Real short, easy video. Just wanted to kind of lay it out there for you guys. I'm gonna try and shoot a lot of my product B-roll using 60 and 30 frames. Moving forward, is it gonna be super cinematic? Cinematic doesn't mean slow. What it means is you're getting a nice image and it looks crisp, looks nice. Go ahead, comment down below. What do you shoot your B-roll in? 30, 60, 120 frames, 240 if you got the Sony A7S III, maybe you're shooting in 240. And also, let me know what other videos you want me to make about some simple tips and tricks. If you like this video, I'm sure you're gonna like the video on the screen now. It's about another tip to help improve your video quality. Before you leave, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thanks for watching. Brian, out.